Good morning, everyone. This is Ivy, your physical therapist, your doctor of physical therapy. Today, I am going to talk about my top 10 beginners books to read if you are wanting to invest for your future. So, top 10 guide for investors. These are the books that I'm recommending. All right, I got some Codigo here. So the first one that I'm recommending, which is the very first book that I read, I did not have a physical book on this one. I do have the audio book. I do a lot of driving during my daily work. I am a home health physical therapist, so this is my audio book that I've been listening every time I go from one client to the other. So the title of the book is Beginner's Guide for Investing. I bought the book in audiobook. You can always download it from audiobook. It's cheaper if you will have a monthly subscription. I did not go for the monthly subscription because I don't buy a lot from them. I will put down in the link below regarding this book. So the first one is The Beginner's Guide for Investing by Ivy Invest Company. The second book is the very famous book of Dave Ramsey. We know Dave Ramsey is one of the top financial guru that is a great influence for all people that are into investing and wanting to change their life and wanting to become, not the normal person or not the normal family in the society. Just wanting to be able to live by and don't worry about what's gonna happen in the future or don't worry about what's going on in the present. So my second book is The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. I do have a physical book, but right now I don't have it with me. The first book though that I read on this one, I bought in the audiobook. As I've said, I don't have a lot of time to sit down and read because I work, and as I've said, I work and I drive from one client to the other. So most of my time in the day is spent by driving and going to see clients. So instead of listening to music, although I do listen to music, my favorite is the Spirit FM 95.5. So in between, I listen to the books, my audiobook. So the first audiobook, the first Total Money Makeover that I had was through the audiobook. Later on, I got a physical book which was on sale, so I bought it, and right now it's with my 18-year-old son. I'm trying to have him read it. I'm not sure if he's finished with it, but right now it's with him. Okay, so that was my second book. My third one is the book of Suze Orman. So this is Suze Orman right here. Now this is not the book. Actually, this book was given to me by one of my clients that he said he doesn't need it anymore because he did follow Suze Orman's, steps and financial literacy education, and he said it's the best that he made, the decision that he made for his life. He's actually 92-year-old now. He's living his life. He's very good. So he gave me his Suze Orman's books. But the first book that I read that was written by Suze Orman is also through the audiobook. It's the title of the book is The 9 Steps of Financial Freedom by Suze Orman. That's a great book to me. I love this book. I do love all the books that I read. Every author has different approach of how you're gonna approach your financial freedom. Suze Orman is different. She is more on digging into your past. In this book, the thought of the book is digging into your past, going back to the past life that you have, because according to her, there is a connection between what happened in your past to how you deal with money in your present and how you deal with money, how you foresee money for your future. So in order for you to move forward, you need to be able to make sure that you are going to correct whatever is needed to be corrected that happened in the past that made you decide, that made your influence the decision making that you have for your money. So that is the essence of Suze Orman's book, and it is very, very informative. And to me, I this book, how do you say that, connected to me more because of my past and how I'm dealing with my money in the present and how I'm seeing myself of my financial life in the future. So that was my third book by Suze Orman. This, if you don't know Suze Orman, I don't think you don't know Suze Orman, but this is what she looks like. She's so pretty. She is now at she lives now in an island. She owns an island in the Bahamas, I believe, and she still does what you call this. She still does financial literacy or education to anybody's. She is more focused on women, and men can also listen to her. I listen to her podcast. It's Suze Orman's Money, Women and Money. So if you would like to listen to that podcast, because podcast is for free, you don't have to buy it. You just have to download it in your phone if you have a smartphone, which is, I believe everyone has a smartphone by now. So that's Suze Orman. I will leave down a link below if you're interested to listen to her podcast. She's also one of the personality that I listen to. Her podcast is on my phone, so every time I drive from one client to the other, I listen to her also. All right, so now my fourth book. See if I'll show you the pile of these books here. I have plenty of books. I love reading books. As I've said, if I have time, I sit down and read about it. Like this one, the patient that gave this to me, it will only take you probably, if you sit down and just read it, maybe 10 to 15 minutes. This one is Suze Orman's the do's and don'ts of money. So what are the things that you don't need to do about your money, or the things that you have to do about your money? Okay, all right. Another book that I would like to recommend to you guys, if you are interested on becoming financially free, or just letting your money work for you, because I know for sure everyone works hard for their money. And if you didn't know, like me, I didn't know like 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that my money can work harder for me. Instead of just putting it in the savings account in the bank, in the regular bank, that it will move, but it will only move like a needle. But when you learn about investing your money, that will be a game changer. So another book that I recommend, if you have time, all the books that I've read in the past, and I'm still reading it, because we always have to continue learning. Once I read it, I don't really get it all, right away. Like, I don't memorize all of this, especially I'm not a financial person. Disclaimer, by the way, I am not a financial guru. I am not a financial advisor nor a financial planner. I'm just somebody that is trying to educate myself, my family, and my friends who would love to be educated by reading, by researching. It's so easy. You just have to read, you research, and if you want to study further, you can always go to school too for about finances. So that this next book, the fourth book, is The Simple Path to Wealth. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. This book is very simplified. It talks about what are the investment tools that you will it's easy investment tools that you can educate yourself and buy and invest on it. This book, I have read most of the books that I've been reading. First, they will always tell you, it's all about behavior. It's, of course, money is math, but in order for money to work for you, it is always important to change your behavior towards money. Money is there. Everybody can count. Everybody knows math. As if you can read, you know math. Even if people that don't read, they know math. It might not be perfect, but you always will know it. Okay, so The Simple Path of Life. So if you have time, you read it. It's by J.L. Collins. So that's it. The Simple Path to Wealth. Okay, the next book. This book I really love. This book is a game changer to me. Why? Because when I followed what's written in this book, my money management went better. I am saying little by little, slowly, my savings is growing. It's not growing like abruptly, but it is growing. It's not going down. It's like a slope that goes slowly going up. That's what I'm seeing. All right, so this book is The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. So just like my other books, just like my first other, top 5 books, my first one, I bought it through the audiobook. As I've said, I can finish the book in a day if it's on my audiobook. But because, you listen to it and you learn from listening, but sometimes it's different if you see it, if you read on it, just for reference. So when the book came into sale through Amazon, then I got the physical copy. So this is the physical copy. It's called The Automatic Millionaire by David Bach. So in this book, it did touch a little bit about money management and behavior and math, but this one is more on math. So the biggest lesson I learned from this book is make everything automatic, and you have to pay yourself first. Meaning, when we want to always make sure to pay ourselves first. We know when we go to work, government not take away, we have to pay taxes because that's the law. That's one of our responsibility as a citizen in the country. So that is automatic for the government. They take your taxes away from you through your salary right away, every 2 weeks or every week or every month, however you are paid. Now, in order for you to be smart with your money, you want to make sure that you also pay yourself first. So pay a portion of yourself from your money, from your salary, towards your savings. Say if you don't have a lot of money or your take-home pay is not a lot, that's okay. Little by little, you will always accumulate your savings. All right, remember, the turtle always wins the race. So you don't have to hurry up to get rich or to become rich fast. You just have to work on it slowly. All right, so going back to this book, pay yourself first, make everything automatic. So what I did is, after all my bills, my my overhead expenses for the month is covered through my whatever money I'm getting every month, but I made sure that I will pay myself first. I paid myself 10 to 15% going towards my savings, and then after that I paid all the bills, and if there's anything remaining, put it in the savings. But that's how I did, and this is a game changer. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is a game changer. Saving money, investing money is not an easy task, and to me it's not easy. I don't know about you, but if it's not easy for me, then and then I did it, then everybody should be able to do it. I don't know your situation, but as I've said, it is doable, and I'm hoping you guys will do it too. All right, the next book that I would recommend now, those already 5 books that I mentioned earlier, so this will be the 6th one. This one, I bought this book, physical book. This is The Intelligent Investor. So when I bought this book, that was the time when I have the urge to want to learn some more. What is really going on with this market, tied up stock market, investing world. So I read this book. Now, as much as I love this book is not an easy one to read. I would say you will have at least a lot of knowledge about finances and all those crazy words about finances, and but this is a game changer too, because there are stuff here that you can it's more on history, what happened way years before, and how the market is going up and down, up and down, up, down, up, down. It's history is here in this book. And I would say that what I've learned about this book is that timing the market is not for me. Timing the market is for people that are very, very smart, of course, and they have a lot of background and education about investing. I don't want to time the market. My the goal that I have for how I'm doing myself to level up is staying in the market, buying, staying in it, holding it. So since I started with my journey of trying to make my money work for me, I never sell or sold any of my investment. I don't have a lot, but as I've said, I only bought and I hold it there. And when you do that, you will really appreciate what's in this book. I know I have a lot of friends and some people that I know that they're doing the timing the market, they are doing the day trading. That's awesome, that's a great tool. But for me, it doesn't work because, as I've said, I need to have the time and the proper education and the knowledge of what I'm doing and buying in and selling in at the same day. But as I've said, it's better doing it than doing nothing at all. So this is what the book is all about. So if you want this, if you want a copy of that, you can always have that too. So I have this as a reference. I have not read all of it. As I've said, I just use it as a reference. Okay, we are back. I just need to have a restroom break, coffee break. Okay, so we did talk about the 5 books already. We talked about the Beginner's Guide for Investing. We talked about the Total Money Makeover and the Suze Ormans 9 Steps to Financial Freedom, the Automatic Millionaire book by David Bach. The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. And the last one that we did talk about was The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. Okay, my next book that I love is a game changer to me. This is my top one. It's called the Millionaire Next Door. Now this one that I'm having, the physical copy, this is the 2nd edition. This is the next Millionaire Next Door. So this is like a revised edition of the one that I read before. And I don't have a physical copy of that book, The Next Door Millionaire by Stanley. So that's the book right there. This is the 2nd edition. The 1st edition was the first one that I read. To me, that is the best book. That to me, it opened another world of money it opened another world to me of understanding about money, people, society, community. Because when I was growing up, when I see someone, no offense to people that are rich, that are looking rich, and they look rich, we have plenty of that in the society. But when I was growing up, because I was growing up not poor but very poor, but I don't have regret for that because that is a good foundation for me of what became a person who I am today. So anyhow, this book, this talks about 2 kinds of millionaires. There are millionaires that are called deca-millionaires, and there are millionaires that are called just millionaires. So there's 2 groups that has been talk about this book. They are called the prodigious accumulator of wealth. They are the deca-millionaires. They have plenty of money, trillionaires, whatever you call them. And then the other group is the prodigious accumulator of wealth, meaning they're still millionaires, but they don't really have more money compared to the first group. So this book talks a lot about people, talks a lot about behavior, talks a lot about your choices in life, what makes you happy, talks about millionaires in America. This book is a research-based book on the 20 millionaires in America in the 90s, I believe. It was a study or research done by Thomas Stanley and James Danko. So anyhow, according to the research, they found out that what are the traits and the behaviors of the of the millionaires in America. And what are the myths and how to identify the myth, meaning like if you see somebody that looks like a rich person, or is it a millionaire? Or if you have an income of $1 million, are you a millionaire? So stuff like that. And this also talks about the influence of of your behavior towards your finances. And it's a main thing in this book. It's called living below your means. And another highlight on this book is how to identify and develop your own behavior that are conducive to building your wealth, and finding and opportunities that allow for both economic and lifestyle related freedom is in this book. I would highly recommend reading this book. I cannot talk about the book in just one setting. I can have another video on this book because this is the top book that I love. So once again, this is the Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley. Okay, the next book on my list is Retire, inspired by Chris Hogan. Now, Chris Hogan is one of Dave Ramsey's personality. He also wrote his second book. This is the second book he wrote. This is not the book that I'm talking about, but this is Chris Hogan right there. I'm pretty sure some of you guys know about him. I listen to his podcast. I follow him also. So the book that I'm talking about is Retire, Inspired by Chris Hogan. This is the very first book that I read that was written by Chris Hogan. Now, this book talks about retirement is not an age. You know, we know for a fact that it's very normal in America that the retirement age is 65 or 70 or 55 or 60. So in this book, it did not talk about retirement as an age. It talked about retirement as a number. And there's a lot of sad situations or things that Chris Hogan highlighted in the book. There was this story about an old lady or a retired lady who lived by herself in his house, and one of her I believe one of the family member came to visit the old lady, and when they saw her in their house, there is no food at all. And when the family member tried to find food in the freezer and in the cabinet, she can't find anything but dog food, canned dog foods, and some of them are open. And she was wondering, why are dog foods open that there's no dog in the house? So what do you think? That's really sad, right? If you don't prepare for if you don't save for your future, if you don't take care of your future, and you might end up eating dog food. We don't want that. I don't want anyone to be eating dog food. But anyhow, that's what the highlight of the book. Retirement is not an age, it's a number. And the next book that I would recommend is Chris Hogan's book also. So this is Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. Now, this is a research-based book as well, just like the Next Door Millionaire book. However, in this book that was written by Chris Hogan, he made a research on 10,000 millionaires in America. So he has like a questionnaire for each one of them, and basing on that questionnaire, he was able to make the book. So in this book, it talks about who are the millionaires in America and what are their habits, their behaviors, and it also talks about the myth about millionaires. It talks about I think in this book talks about 10 myths, if I'm not mistaken, of the millionaires in America. But anyhow, this is a great book also to read. This is more simplified compared to the Next Door Millionaire. Although with my experience, this one has the stories that are real life stories, and that you can really tell who's who, which one is which, and how you wanna, it's your decision. And this one is more on the research, so we always live by the research and statistics. This is a great book to read as well. Very simplified compared to this one, but as I've said, this one has a lot of stories that I love, and I love this one too. So that's my that was my 9th book by Chris Hogan, Everyday Millionaires. All right, the last book. Actually, I have 2 last books. The second to the last book is the Booglehead Investment Guide. So this book talks about index funds. So I bought this online. I bought this through the audiobook. I don't have a physical copy of this, but it talks about the index funds of Vanguard index funds. And I do index fund investing lately. I did start with stocks. I don't have a lot of money, but I did start with that, and that's a game changer to me too, because once you see your money grows more than your savings account, then you'll like to do more. But I'm a conservative one, that I don't jump right away. I have to always make sure I know what I'm doing. So education is the key. Never invest if you don't understand what you're doing, because otherwise, if you do it and you don't understand, when your money goes down, you will cry a lot. I didn't cry, because as I've said, I have to educate myself first before I jump into investing, before I jump into the investing world. But I really want you to try if you can. All right, the second last book that's on my list is the Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. This is a very popular book. I actually did not buy a book. I just listened it through the YouTube. YouTube is great. Like, I'm doing YouTube right now. I'm hoping you guys can get something from this video. It talks about 2 kinds of dad. One dad that is just a regular dad that takes care of you. The other dad is the one that pushes you to your comfort level, like more than your comfort level, so you will level up in your world. And this is a nice book to read for beginners, to understand the importance of money, behavior, and saving for your future. So those are my top 10.5 books for you guys. If you want to start in the investment world, this is a very great time to start. They said, when do I have to start investing? Most of the financial gurus, or the financial like Warren Buffett and all these other people that are in this financial world, they always say the best time to invest is now, and the other best time is yesterday. So it's never too late to do it. If you want to do it, you do it. But as I've said, my best advice is never invest if you do not understand what you are investing for. Got it? We got the 10 books that I read that helped me through 2020. 2020 is a different year, was a different year. We know for a fact that it was not an easy year. Health-wise, money-wise, and just the whole world is shocked by it. So I never thought that reading all these 10 books about investing really helped me a lot during 2020. I lost my job. I lost my job. I believe it's the caseload went down for home health therapy because of the COVID. It started going down around the end of March when the lockdown was implemented. Nobody wants to be seen, and I don't blame them. I don't want to go see my patient too and give them the virus, or them giving me the virus and me spreading them all around. But anyhow, I wasn't able to work for a good almost 2 months. But with all the education and reading that I did with all these books, it really helped me. Preparing for the rainy days, this book helped me a lot. Deciding, not just reading on it, but deciding to implement what I've read was crucial. I never thought that 2020, nobody wants what happened in 2020, but because it happened. We all went through it and we're all awesome. We got out of it. So if ever, God forbid, another 2020 event will come through our life, I would really suggest start making wise decisions about your life, your health, and your money. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned something from this long video that I am doing for you guys. I really want all of you, if possible, to start doing it. If you're already doing it, keep doing it. I am so proud of you. We want to make sure we take care of our household so that we are not going to be dependent or relying on other people. But hey, it's okay to depend or rely on some other people on some other circumstances. We are here to help each other. We are a team. We are part of the team Earth. Thank you for watching again. I hope you really learned a lot from this long video. And if you like this video, try subscribing. And if you like it, you can hit the like button, subscribe, and please share it. It would be nice to have more subscribers, but it would be more nicer or better if you share the video so other people will also learn about it. Thank you, and you have an awesome day. So thank you and have a happy new year. I hope this year is a better year. Each year is always going to be a better year. There are always different situations in every year. We can do this, you can do this, let's all do this. Thank you, and you have a blessed year ahead.